Danielle Sands. I live in Northwest Indiana. I'm a recruiter with GPAC, and I started in 2021. So before GPAC, I worked at Purdue and basically ran the youth development STEM program for Indiana 4-H. I was on the road a lot doing programming, and then basically having a daughter of my own. I wanted to be at home more, and while I love my job and what I did, I desired that work-life balance. My why is my family. I love being able to have the flexibility to run things to the farm or help on the farm when I can, but then also being there for my daughter. So whether she has activities at preschool that parents can help out with, or we signed up for gymnastics, and so sometimes that takes time away from the day, but it's just really, as long as I'm getting my work done and I feel accomplished, I feel like a weight has lifted off my shoulders so that I can spend time with my family. My typical day looks like I'm taking my daughter to preschool, in the morning, and when I come back, starting my desk with my emails and seeing which candidates have reached out, if I need to contact any HAs about anything, and kind of following up with that first thing in the morning. That way, getting the warm calls out of the way and kind of warming up the day. But then after that, I'm attacking my call plan. So whether I'm marketing candidates or recruiting for job orders, it just depends on the urgency of whatever I'm working on. And then, towards the middle of the day, I'm picking up my daughter from preschool and we're hanging out and playing Barbies. And then in the afternoon, jumping on some new things. If urgent things have come up in the morning, maybe I'm starting to look for other candidates, but also still working through that call plan. And so then at the end of the day, it's contacting more people on LinkedIn, connecting with other, candidates in that way, looking through Indeed. But it's always staying in front of people as much as I can. I think I need to get over the fact that I don't have to sit in my house every day on my laptop. One of my sisters lives in Florida, and I really want to visit her and her family often, so I'm able to work from her house. When we go visit, and even if we're taking a road trip to go buy farm equipment, I can still do my work on my phone and my laptop because the ability is there. So you can still do all the things that you want to do while making time for work, but it shouldn't hold you hostage in your house or in your office. So working at GPAC has really been unlike anything I've ever done. I appreciate the opportunity to kind of break out of my own shell as a natural introvert, requiring myself to call people and talk to people every day. But then also, I love the family atmosphere that GPAC brings. Not only with my team that I work on, I feel really connected with them, and I'm able to call them up with any questions or to present, something I have going on. But I feel like I can do that with any team, and I've made quite a few friends in other industries, and we've started working together in each other's digs in that aspect. So I just love that networking feel that GPAC gives. It does get hard, and sometimes you're just like, wow, what am I doing this for? I'm not making money today, so why am I working? But no, you're making a lifestyle. You're doing the things you need to do so you can have fun and be with your family. So it's definitely something that is not for everyone, but if you have the drive just to keep going, you can make it work. You can make yourself successful. It wasn't really until about my 5th or 6th month with GPAC that I started making placements and started realizing this is what I'm supposed to be doing. It took me that long to figure out what all the terms meant and what the daily process needed to look like. And after that, it's almost like a game, because you have so many job orders or so many different fish you're trying to catch that it's hard to prioritize, So at that point, it was okay, which ones are the closest to money? Devote all my efforts to those until I need to move on to the next one. And so it does take a while. It does take a while to get your feet wet, to get your name known out there. But I would say it's different for everyone, but definitely turned a leaf about 5 or 6 months. It wasn't until November that I actually was that close to Alpha Pack status. I say that close because I had a fall off that would have made me Alpha Pack early in November. And so then I was like, I'm this close, we have to keep going. And so I think I hit it early December, but it was just a great achievement to be able to say, yeah, I made it. And to be honest, my goal for the first year was just to make the money that I had made in my previous job so that I felt comfortable. And once that was achieved, it was like, okay, you just have to keep going. There's ebbs and flows. You have to just get through it and do what you have to do, follow the process. We hear that a lot from our coaches and leadership. There's a reason they say follow the process. It's because it works. And another thing that has always stuck with me is during the onboarding videos, we heard from Ryan Good several times, but there was one time where he said, give it a year. You're really not doing yourself justice if you don't give it a year. And much like any other position that you start, how would you know what that position is like through the entire year if you don't stick with it? So when new recruiters come on board to our team, I kind of like nudge them and say, keep going because it works, it's worth it, and your dedication will pay off. Becoming a recruiter, I would say give it a shot. Just to be honest, I was very hesitant at first, not really knowing the kind of money I would make, not knowing what the atmosphere would be like, how rigid my schedule would be, but it's everything that I have ever wanted. And so if you like networking with people, if you want to become more knowledgeable about a certain industry, and if you want to be able to have that work-life balance, recruiting is a great industry to get into. I think the only thing I would say is you either have to have the passion to do the job or you have to find the passion, because that's the only way that you're going to be successful.